Hi everyone, welcome to City of Khamoon, one of the shortest levels in the game. Let's get started. First thing we want to do is a standing jump, just so we have a good sequence for 2 running jumps, and then roll onto this flat ground, and then shimmy all the way left, and this will be the start of the setup for the next glitch. But just very quickly, I want to mention that when you do this roll, make sure not to shortcut too hard. For example, if you're trying to roll here so that you don't need to shimmy, you can't grab the slope, so you will just fall down. But if you do mess it up, there is a backup. But for the most part, the fastest way is grabbing this, shimmy left, then drop, and then roll. So this is the position you want. But before I continue, again, so if you accidentally dropped or you messed it up, at any point you can get this position again. All we need to do is grab this ledge, shimmy to the edge of the tile, like right there in between. So like not over here where it goes all the way down, but just drop right on the edge here and then roll. This will be the exact same position. So from this position, we want to do a standing forward jump, and then we want to do a forward right standing jump and hold grab so that we don't stumble in the wall. So it will look like this. And then we want to do a back step, one buffer of forward and right like this. And then when we unpause, we want to do forward, left, and jump like this. And we'll make it all the way to the top. Now there's a couple things I should mention when doing this. So first of all, after this standing jump, for the standing jump afterwards, make sure not to hold the inputs for too long. So for example, if I hold forward and right after I land, right, she'll turn a little bit, right, like this. So obviously this is not going to work. So make sure you only hold it for just long enough like this while she's in the air, and then once she grabs, it'll be like that. And this will be fine. You just continue like this. Another thing, if you want to cancel that stumble, which you do, we can cancel it with a roll like so. But if you're still struggling with just getting up here, don't worry about the roll, because that's not necessary. To get up is just for the extra time. So I'm going to show it one more time. If you do it quick, it'll be pretty smooth, or it should be pretty smooth. Forward jump, side, back step, upper, left, and roll cancel. And then we can continue to running jump past that. So yes, try to do a running jump, but delay it a little bit. So okay, I'm not sure if you saw that, but if you jump too soon, you get stuffed by the ceiling. So okay, I guess I'll show it one more time. And also here, if you want to take the input slow, you don't have to do it very quick, right? So this one you can just wait here, but if you did it quick, like what I showed previously, you can immediately take the second jump after you land. But you can just pause here if you need to. Right, and I'm gonna save here. Go. So if you get a roll cancel and you jump immediately, you get stuffed by that ceiling, and you won't really have a good jumping sequence to get up to this next part. So what I recommend is delaying it by one step. Oh, oops. Not like that. Or 2 steps. And so this way you can get a running jump up here. And we don't have to deal with this panther because we just jump past him, but I'm going to kill him because he can get a little bit annoying with his roars. And I'm also going to kill this mummy. Again, we don't touch him at all because we don't go anywhere near him. But I'm going to kill him because sounds are annoying. Okay. So it's at this point, I'm going to do this. I'm going to showcase this level a little bit differently than normal because this level is a little bit unique. So first of all, I'm going to show the easiest route, the easiest, safest, most consistent route. Right, and you can still get a pretty good time with this. Maybe approximately a 130 RTA with LiveSplit autosplitter. With all the hard strategies that come afterwards, maybe like you can get a 120 if everything is done perfectly, or just a little bit under 120. So it's really not that big of a deal, especially considering how hard the later strategies are. So first, I'm going to show the easiest route. And then if you want a little bit more of a time save, you can look at all the other strategies and implement what you find comfortable and fit for you. So after you come there, right, you want to jump onto the slope, like I mentioned, like past the slope. If you, as you saw there, if you curve too much like this, you won't be able to make it. So when you do a running jump, try to kind of go straight on. Like that. Again, I curve too much. Just straight on and you'll make it. Okay. So this is the easiest route. The easiest route is to just come over here and get ready to jump past this. So you land on this slope or close to the slope. So here are a couple things that can go wrong. So first of all, if you don't jump at all and you're too slow, you're going to land on this slope and fall into the water. That's not a big deal. You can recover by just climbing out right here and continuing. And another thing that can happen if you jump too early is you land over here. There's not really much you can do. Just take the stumble and then continue. But if you do land closer to the edge, like here, and stumble, then remember you can just do a roll and you'll land on the slope and continue. So after that, we're going to just climb up here. Turn left, you jump over to this fence area and run all the way to the end. And we want to honestly go all the way to the end. So if you're running like this, you can be a little bit short, but if you're just doing it for the first time, I do recommend going all the way to the end. Of course, make sure you don't fall off, because if you do, you're gonna have to run all the way back, and if you get trapped by the mummy who should still be here, it could be a problem. But just don't fall off. From here, we're going to do a fence clip. All we need to do is look at the seam between the fence on the left and the fence on the right. So the middle point is where the platform that Lara is standing on, where it ends. So that's the middle point between the two fences. So we're going to want to look at that. So as you can see, we're looking at that from slightly from the right. And we're going to just hold forward and hold forward and left once you get basically in the fence a little bit. So like this. And you'll just run right through. So sometimes it's a little bit bumpy, as you saw before. So for example, not like that. Oops. Yeah, be careful of that as well. If you try to cut it too close, you can fall down. But yeah, so if you get some kind of like a bump back, it just means that your angle probably needs to be a little bit more left. So maybe instead of holding forward, also hold left at the same time, just like this. And you should make it through basically every time. But if you don't, again, you can always just reset your position and angle. So let's say I feel it like this. Then I can maybe angle a little bit better, maybe get a position better, and just hold forward and left again. And you make it through. And then we're going to just jump through this hallway, turn left, the two standing jumps onto this one. So like the statue platform right before the med. And we're going to make sure we're lined up with the wall. And then we run forward and the camera could do something crazy like that. But once we're basically between the statue and the wall, we're going to turn right and forward, and we should teleport right on top, and we can pull the switch. Now when doing this, it's actually quite easy, but there is something you need to be careful of. Don't run too far in or you will void when you do this. Or, well, you could. Oh, okay, not exactly. Okay, I can't even do it right now, but just be careful of going too far. You can void. I promise it can happen, but I can't do it right now. Okay. Anyway, I do recommend just basically taking one forward step in, turning right, so he's kind of like this, and then just forward step. And then you can pull the lever and do about 2 steps right here. This will give us a good position to do a standing jump into 2 running jumps all the way to the end. And grab, just go all the way. And of course, if you don't have this proper sequence, you can always just take it slow. For example, if you just like jump here, then you can, like, you know, take your time and then go all the way here, do a running jump, for example. In any case, once you land here, just another running jump to this platform, grab the key, and the most consistent way to get off this platform is just do a walk, run, jump, and try to get a grab cancel, like that, and another running jump and grab cancel. Standing jump, and then a running jump to the end, put in the key, and that's literally just level. We're gonna just do a side flip and a roll. And that's for City of Khamoon, but let me just go. That's the easy route. I don't think there's anything to talk about the key. Oh yeah, actually there is one more thing, just in case. So once you get the key and you come back, so let's say I already grabbed the key and I come here. In case you somehow messed up this jump, so like let's say, actually yeah, so let's say you landed on that slope accidentally, you jumped too far, or something like that. You might slide. Oh, okay. Lara, can you just slide down? You might slide down like this, or even like this. But you can always find your way back up. You just come over here, dodge this one slope tile, and then you just make your way back to the keyhole. And that's that for the easy route. It's very, very consistent, very straightforward. Now let's go back to, wait, no, what was it? Let's go forward back to this position. So again, all the strategies from here on out are more advanced. Only saves like maximum 15 seconds, I could see. It's not a lot at all. So if you're just happy with this level, about a 1:30 time if you do everything right, then you can just move on. But if you want a little bit more time save, I'm going to show some things you can do. So when you come over here, generally speaking, you get the running jump that I mentioned. It's like this. We want to take 2 steps and jump over on this higher platform, and this will allow us to do an extra jump like this, right? And then you can do another running jump like that. If you don't do it properly, you won't, you need to hit the ceiling here so that you don't stumble just like that. If you mess it up, so let me try to mess it up here, like this, you will still stumble, or you can land on that. But if you didn't, you'll stumble because you didn't hit the ceiling. But that is an extra jump you can do. So that's a very small time save, but that is something. Now to the fence, if you don't want to do that jump, there's also another way you can time your jump and get a really nice sequence. So we're gonna use this step right here in front of Lara to time our jump. So remember, when we pass the step, it will reset our jump sequence. So we will hold jump right after we pass the step and aim to the right. So it'll be like this. And we will land right on this edge. And this means that we can roll cancel here. Well, actually, it's not like that. So after we roll cancel, we're going to curve left so that we can do another running jump. So it'll be like this. Full jump here, stumble, but then roll cancel, curve left a little bit, and you can running jump onto where we normally climb up, but I just missed it there. So one more time, this, roll cancel, running jump. Grab if you're too far, but generally speaking, you'll make it. Or sorry, generally speaking, you should grab, but in some cases, if you curve too much, like what I did, you won't make it. But just try to aim straight forward and then grab, and then jump up and climb. And then finally, there is a harder strategy. Instead of jumping over there, climbing up and going all around. So what we can do, for example, jump up here. And instead of jumping forward, we're going to jump right here to this corner. And we're going to do a corner bug. It's a very specific corner bug, but it only takes one jump if you do it correctly. And then we can jump right over here and do the fence clip like normal. So this is only faster if you can do that corner bug pretty quickly because it is very tight. Let me try to, well, might not be the easiest way to show, but if you try it out on your own, you'll immediately tell that the angle is quite tight, even though it only takes one jump. It just won't work in some other angles. So only do that for if you're going for a really good time, in my opinion, but it's up to you. Do what you're comfortable with. And that's to the fence. Okay, and also for this fence, there is another way you can get through the fence rather than going through the end. So actually you can get through at any time the tile ends. So here, for example, and also at the very first tile end. So also here. Now, if you do the corner bug and running jump over here, you get a pretty good sequence to come right through this one. So this is what I would recommend if you do the corner bug. But you could also do this if you climb up and running jump. You just might have to like stop, like, okay, so let me just show it. So let's just say you're gonna climb up. Generally speaking, you're going to be about here. You turn, do 2 running jumps, and it's kind of awkward to get that turn. It's a little bit tight, so you might want to just stop right here and then kind of line yourself up and then go for it if you want this one. The advantage of this fence bug, if you get it properly, is you get 1 extra running jump. That's about like 1.5 seconds or so extra, or a time save rather. However, you do want to make sure. Okay, so if you go through this regularly, like angle, hold forward left, okay, that could happen, but more often than not, you will get a stumble. Let me try and show that. I got it earlier, but like this. And of course, that's not worth getting an extra running jump for. So what we want to do is once we have the right angle, we want to press roll right before we get in. So this way she won't stumble. Right. You can also do this on this second one as well, but if you want like the full running jump, generally speaking, your sequence gives you a good. This fence makes more sense with your sequence. You just go like this, just turn and do a running jump like that. So that's the fence. And now let me go back to the other one, this one. So if you're doing this strategy but still want a little bit of optimization, but it's pretty risky, but I'll just try and show it. We can actually cancel this stumble if we're good enough. We can land right here. and roll cancel C. Now, obviously, it's very risky because if you're slightly to the right, what can happen is you just fall and die like this. But if you do really like the strategy over what I'm going to show in Route Hard, you can go for it. Generally speaking, your sequence is the same. It's just having the proper angle. So here, I barely missed it, but I did miss it. So if I did this in a run without a save, then that will be RIP. Let me try to get it one more time. Like this. Roll cancel. Okay. That's the hard way to get that drop. Now, there is another way to go towards the end of the level once you pass this fence. And this is the hard route because there's a bunch of places you can mess up here. So first of all, when you reach this tile, the panther will come. Okay, so normally we don't kill this guy. But it's important to note because, okay, so first what are we going to do? We're going to do a slope bug on this wall, but it's a little bit different. I mean, the setup is still the same. We're going to take one side step or when we're running, we're going to make sure we're about one side step away and then face it, you know, where the slope goes up. So in this case, it's slightly to the left. And we want to jump in, but in this case, if you just do that, she'll just fall and definitely die. So what we need to do is hold grab and roll when we hit the walls like this. And you'll fly forward and a grab. You cannot just hold grab because it'll be like this. You will just be in the grab, but you'll still just fall straight down. And if you hold roll, well, nothing happens because you're not moving forward. So you need to hold both grab and roll like this, and then you just want to roll and running jump this way. And that's, well, I'll continue showing that route, but that was the easy way to do the slope bug. The hard way to do this slope bug is coming and doing it from this side. And the reason why this is harder is because the panther can get you here if you're too slow. So if you're doing this optimally, you just like running jump over here, right, and then turn and then do it. But that can be difficult because you need to make sure you're on the right distance, about one side step away while running. But you can still do this quick, like run over here, sidestep, aim, go for it. But it can be hard, and if you mess up even once, the panther will be on you. But if you still insist on doing this strategy, you can just jump over here and do it here. It is a lot safer because the panther can get to you. It's just the only difference is the angle, slightly left versus slightly right. In any case, once you come up here, I'm going to running jump. And once we're going to just keep running, and once we pass this corner where you drop a little bit, going to do a running swan dive onto the key like this. If you miss the drop, you can still do it if you see where you are going. So like, let's say you're accidentally too much to the right, you can come down here. Okay, not like that. But yeah, once you're basically in this position, you can do the running swan dive. So sometimes you might be like this, right, and you still get to the key. The only thing you need to be careful of in this part is if you're somehow too high, so I think like this, you will die if you miss. Okay, well, I stumbled on the wall. But like, let's say here. But that was a total miss, but in some cases, it can still happen. And of course, when you drop, don't forget to do a running swan dive. Don't just stop and swan dive like this. I mean, in this case, she didn't die, so you can just climb back up. But if you accidentally, like, let's say you come over here and then swan dive, you're gonna die. So just be careful of that. But for the most part, get the line up, running swan dive, pick up the key. Now this part to the end varies a lot because it depends on how your jumps go, where you stumble, how your angle is like. But I'm going to show maybe like what happens generally speaking. So after you pick up the key, turn left a bit so you can do a standing forward jump and grab cancel, and then another standing jump. You're gonna hit that edge. Sometimes you might not hit the edge, again depends on your angle and so forth. But after you do that, you're gonna come down here, running jump and grab, and then a standing jump forward. Okay, so in this case, she stumbled, but that doesn't always happen. And then when you come down here, you want to running jump out, come over here. Now, there's a bunch of different possible sequences, like I mentioned, so I'm only going to show some common parts. So first of all, when you come down here, let me just show that again. Something else you can do is running jump to the left. If you do this properly, you won't stumble at all, so you can continue forward. But that one's pretty difficult. You might want to just running jump forward and hold grab. Another thing about this part is how you get out of here. So let's say you're over here or even over here and you do a running jump. Notice she gets a full running jump. She will stumble, so you need to try and grab cancel that. But if you're, let's say, back here and do a running jump, notice she hits the ceiling, so she doesn't stumble, she gets the cancel. Similarly, if you do like a standing jump like this, you won't stumble. Again, it just completely depends on where you're located after that big running jump. In any case, yeah, come over here, try to get the grab cancel, and then either standing jump or running jump here. We want to slope bug right here underneath the door. So if possible, get one sidestep distance, but you can always do the setup, and then aim slightly left, slope bug, cancel, curve right a bit so you can fit 2 running jumps, and then put in the key. And this will be the same as the regular route, just side flip and roll. Go back here. Alright, do the key. So one reason why this route is so advanced is that this staircase is so difficult and it's so easy to stumble a bunch. So let's say you can stumble here, right? You can stumble here, stumble there, running jump, you stumble here, running jump again, and then you stumble again here. So there's so many places you can lose time, and depending on how your sequence is going, you need to improvise quite a bit. So I highly don't recommend this route if you're just starting out, but it is there if you're really going for some crazy advanced time. So here, as you can see, I tried to go for the stumble list, but I did stumble, and I missed the grab cancel. Let's see if I can even get the slow bug. Yeah. Okay, and when you end this level, City of Khamoon, doesn't matter which way. I guess let me just split. And end this level, try not to move because this will be the setup for the next level, just from this starting position. But if you do move, there are a couple backups, so don't worry too much. But yeah, ideally, just don't move at all. And that will be Obelisk of Khamoon, the next level. But that's it for City of Khamoon. I hope that helped. A very short level, but depending on the strategies, it could be very intense still. So yeah, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you next time.